What's up guys, it's Alex here, your friendly reef dork. Now, I've been in the hobby about 4.5 years so far, and I still find myself going into my local fish shop quite regularly and either seeing a fish I've never seen before or one that I've never really given any thought to. And this video is about picking out my top 7 fish in that category. Let's check it out. Number 7 on my list is the geometric pygmy perchlet, also known as the pygmy hawkfish. Now technically it's an anthias, not a hawkfish, but it looks and acts much more like a hawk. So it'll sit on the sandbed or perch on your rocks at the bottom of your aquarium. Now these guys are not exactly extroverts, so you won't see them as much as most other fish, and that explains the limited footage I've got of my one. Although I would say mine is on display about 25% of the time. But their enigma is part of their charm. In my opinion, the best reef tanks are full of surprises, when you can look at a tank 100 times and see something new each time. That recreates the true wonder of a real reef. These guys won't grow much bigger than an inch long, they have a really cool pattern, and they have a funny little fin on their backs that makes them look a bit like a bumper car. Number 6 on my list is the only fish I would actually say is fairly obvious, the one Spot Foxface. But hear me out, I'm putting these guys forward as an alternative to tangs. They look great, they go for algae like a pig at a tater, and they even eat bubble algae. But unlike tangs, they're not bullies. Now they can get quite big, so you'll need a reasonable sized tank, but a peaceful fish that pecks algae off the rockwork all day long, that's worth its weight in gold. Number 5 is the wonderfully named Earmuff Wrasse, so called because of the black spot behind their eyes. Now I've been in the hobby about 4 years before I even knew this fish existed, and given how dapper they are, I'm amazed they're not more popular. But that's probably because they're a bit harder to come by, so if you want one, you'll have to ask your LFS to get one in for you. If you wait patiently for a few months, you might just get lucky. As a Halichoeres wrasse, they're also handy for eating pests such as flatworms and nudibranchs. They're always out and about, they won't bother your other fishes, I don't think mine's even noticed there are other fish in the tank yet, and the adult males have absolutely jaw-dropping colouring. We're talking electric multicoloured fins, a bright pink body, and yellow go-faster stripes on their faces. Even my juvenile looks resplendent in metallic white and pink, with a bright pink tail and striking patterns on his face. These are one of the most handsome wrasses you'll ever see. Number 4 on my list is the Multibar Angelfish. These guys just about qualify as dwarf angels, so they're in the same category as flame angels and coral beauties. But they're so much more handsome and look truly unique. Now this is the first fish on my list that can be classified as difficult to keep. So make sure you do your research before taking the plunge, and make sure you can commit to meeting his needs. As an angelfish, they're of course a risk to corals. They're probably about the same risk level as a flame angel, so you might get lucky and get one that behaves, or you might get one with very expensive tastes. First on the podium then is a group of butterfly fish called the Roaops. They're from the same family as fish like the threadfin and raccoon butterflies, but while those fish are likely to eat their way through your most expensive corals, Roaops shouldn't. They live at depths of about 60 metres, which is way below where most of the corals we keep live. And that means they're unlikely to recognise corals as food. Now in the past I've never quite been brave enough to buy one of these guys. They're generally quite expensive, and all butterflies are of course a risk with corals. But I'm seriously tempted to get myself one of these guys now. There's a bit of variety in the Roaops family. For my money, the most dazzling are the Mitratus and the tinkers. If I had a fish-only system, I'd have one in a heartbeat, but they're still seriously tempting, even in a reef tank. Don't just take my word for it though, I've posted a couple of articles in the description that tell you more about these guys. And I've also put the Latin names for all the fish on my list in the description too. The runner-up then is another group, Genicanthus angels. Now as we all know, angelfish eat corals, right? Well, not all angels. These guys are another deep water fish that shouldn't recognise corals as food. But because they're more readily available than Roaops butterflies, there are plenty of reefers out there who can vouch for their good behaviour. And there is something truly mesmerising about seeing angelfish in a reef tank. Unlike most angelfish, there are clear differences between males and females, so you can easily get a bonded pair. And there's just something fundamentally cool about having a male and female pair of fish. These guys can be a little boisterous, so you'll need to do your research to ensure harmony remains on your reef. But while they're bigger than dwarf angels, they don't get as big as the usual larger angels, so you won't need a monster-sized tank to keep a pair happily. Although you shouldn't be fooled when you see a 1-inch specimen swimming around in your local fish shop. And the winner is Resplendent Anthias. These are also known as longfin anthias. Now when looking for a schooling fish, the usual options are blue chromis or certain types of anthias like wreckfish or evansi. But the trouble with them is that they're either fussy eaters or likely to batter each other to death until there's only one left. So enter Resplendent Anthias. They're bright pink with striking blue eyes, and the males are easily distinguished by the additional colouring on their fins. And that means it's easy to pick a group of one male with a number of females, although somehow I managed to get 2 males and 4 females. But I've had mine for around 6 months and they get on fine, which is another sign of how peaceful these guys are. I'd encourage you to get as many as you can fit in your reef. A large group of these can be the centrepiece of any reef. If you have established colony-sized branching acropora, they'll happily swim in and out of your corals too, but if not, they'll also be quite content hiding in your rockwork. Anytime you watch a coral reef on TV, you'll be drawn in by huge shoals of anthias. So being able to recreate that at home will make your piece of the ocean feel that little bit more authentic. Now while they're much less fussy about what they eat than other anthias, they will still benefit from multiple feedings. But all you need to do is get yourself an auto feeder like this Eheim model and fill it with small pellets. Set it to feed a few small portions a day and everyone will be happy. So those are my favourite less common fish. I'd love to hear about yours though, so stick them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for future content. And in the meantime, check out some of my other videos. Until next time then, I've been the Reef Talk. Thank you, good night.